and welcome back to our sourdough starter journey. Today is day 8, and yes, I know that's a little bit longer than most sourdough starters take to make, but if you've been following along with our journey, which I hope you have, we were having some trouble with getting our starter to rise and to thrive the way we needed it to. I don't know if it was the weather here in Southwest Oklahoma. It's been up and down and freezing cold and then kind of warm and then back down to freezing cold again and moist and then like damp and then not anything, so dry. It's just been all over. And if anybody lives in Oklahoma, shout out in the comments because y'all understand. So I don't know what happened before, but our sourdough starter just did not thrive. But I had the foresight to take some of our sourdough starter and move it to a different jar. And this jar, for whatever reason, it's the same age as the other. This jar is doing great. As you can see, it's very, very bubbly. You can see that hooch around the outside. Not a ton of it, not like water separation. That is definitely hooch. And also, if you can see our little makeshift rope around the bottom, it's just a little bit of twine. You can see that it has risen almost half there overnight. We fed it yesterday. I've given it a full day to continue fermenting, and hopefully this will work a whole lot better. So that other jar, I don't know if it was something about the jar or if it was something about how I was doing it. This one has just been sitting up here in the empty spot on our counter next to Herman, while the other one's been in a warm place. This one has done great. I don't know what the difference is, but it's doing good. If you guys hear any noises, this sweet baby, this one, that was a sweet baby too sometimes. This sweet baby is sick today, if you can't tell. She doesn't feel real good. We've had kind of a yucky virus go in our house, and so big sister's holding her. So we're gonna try to make this short. And that sweet baby is sick too. Very sticky. All right, we scooped out about half, so we're kind of back down to that little yarn line there. It's still bubbly. It definitely was a good consistency. It's very sticky. That is very good. Okay, 1 cup of flour. And half a cup of water. We found that with our starter, that works a lot better. All right, let's mix it. All right, we had to put a splash more water in because it was too thick. A lot of this just has to do with your climate and your particular starter. It is a living organism, so it's going to be different. Everybody's starter is going to be different. There's going to be more or less yeast, or it's going to react differently. It's alive, and so you have to adjust sometimes. So I put about 1/6 of a cup more water in just to get it to the right consistency. This is the consistency we're going after. It's like very thick pancake batter. Do you see how it kind of traces on the top? If you've ever made soap, you kind of know what a trace is. But it still drips. It's still drippy. You see, it still falls down, and then eventually it will kind of submerge back into the rest of the starter. It won't like stay like that. It'll actually smooth out more like that. So our favorite flour sack towel is not big enough to cover this ginormous jar. I don't know if you can tell, but this is my hand. I have small hands, but it's still very large. So I had to get, this is just some all cotton fabric in a cute little print that my daughter had. She likes to sew. We just drape that over the top, nothing special, and just put the lid on just to make sure nothing gets in it. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe being sealed in a little bit more helps it with it. But that is just to make sure that no dust or anything gets in. And the top is just to ensure that that stays on. All right, we're just gonna put this bad boy back up here next to Herman so he can guard him tonight. And we will be back with you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Stay radiant, friends.